building, baby.
And this is when I like to harvest. Trichomes are the #1
Magic League, Magic 36-hour league.
Today I'm going to check the trichomes.
It's my main league. It's the league I give a fuck about the most. Always the Cowboys. We playing without a warm-up game. It's the first game of the day. So, yeah, that's on me. That's my fault.
Only thing I don't like about it is I always damage my flowers when I use it. The trichomes on my flowers.
Hopefully we can pull this off.
We still got a little bit more time left. From this point on, I'm going to check trichomes weekly. Day number 60. The flowers are continuing to grow slowly, and I've gotten some purpling and yellowing of the lower leaves. I've been checking the trichomes with my jeweler's loop, and I've gotten a lot more cloudy heads, so we're getting really close. Today, I'm going to cut off a lot of the large fan leaves, and this is just going to make life easy for me when it's harvest day. I'm back to watering once a week, and I'm letting the soil dry out in between. Day number 63. Today is harvest day. I braided my bonsai training wires, including the nest about 12 inches in length. I hung it to the ceiling post inside the drying tent. I cut the plant at the base and hung it on the S-hook. My carbon filter is connected to an exhaust fan. My exhaust fan is connected to the speed controller. The speed controller is set at its lowest setting. It's going to stay on for 24 hours a day for the next 14 to 20 days. I'm going to keep my temperatures between 65 and 70. Humidity will stay between 50 and 55. This is important because it's going to allow my flowers to dry slow. Warm, dry conditions will make your plants dry out too quick, and you don't want that to happen. The plant's been hanging in the drying room for 22 days. The environment's been pretty steady the whole time. Temperature has been around 65. Humidity has hovered around 55. This has allowed the flower to dry evenly from the outside, and most importantly, from the inside as well. Slow and low temp is the key. The way you handle this last phase of the grow will determine everything from aroma.
Just a gorgeous fall afternoon in the heart of Texas. No weather to speak of. Sun out, roof open. Yes, yes, and yes. A great day for football at AT&T Stadium in Arlington. Today, our Thanksgiving coverage continues with a good one here between the New York Giants and the Dallas Cowboys. It's a tradition that began in 1966, and off we go on a Thanksgiving afternoon in Dallas. This one fielded at the 5. And he'll take it a yard or so past the 20, call it the 21.
After that, it's just about shaping up your flower. The goal is to remove the sugar leaf off the flower and get as close to the bud as I can without damaging the calyx. Trimming is a long process. It takes only about an hour an ounce. Now that the plant's all trimmed up, it's time for the curing process. I've heard a lot of people say that the curing process is just an extension of the drying process. They say the curing process removes the extra chlorophyll. Pure flower is going to jar before the chlorophyll is fully degraded.
They'll start out on the ground in Saquon Barkley, and he'll take this ahead for about 4. Second down coming up. The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. They'll go to Barkley again. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. A tough spot here on their opening drive. This is 3rd and 7. And now a timeout called by the Cowboys defense. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter.
During this time, the sharp aromas start to develop, and those delicate background fragrances start to become more noticeable. It's been 4 days, and this one is smelling great. I'm getting berries, sweet candy, a little bit of citrus, and some papaya in the background. This small plant yielded 100.
So 7 yards from the first down here as they come up to the line of scrimmage.
First time growing this spring, she really didn't switch from those 2.
Now Jones.
Ah, my fault, fellas. My fault. My fault. Lucky I was still trying to set up this broadcast, playboy.
Of course, he's coming off that NFC Offensive Player of the Week performance. 2 scores in that game a week ago.
And how did he get them? Speed is one
I'll be
thing.
with you in 1 second.
Route running, able to cross people up in the secondary and make sure that they can't quite get to him before the ball arrives. He's something after the catch as well.
Now Jones is going to bat this forward on the jet sweep. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2.
And that's something you have to get ready for defensively, because in today's NFL, teams will use their wide receivers on jet sweeps, end rounds. They'll move them back in the backfield and make them running backs. Partner, this was much more of a tap pass, but effective nonetheless.
And I think both guys love it. If you're a quarterback, it's an easy completion. If you're a wide receiver, you get the easy reception and also a chance to try to make a play with your feet. 17 yards and a giant first down. Throwing Jones.
Make him pay for it, baby.
He's gonna go down. They get to him back at the 40. Also, Diggy Sewell with the effort there to earn the sack.
And they're picking up right where they left off with the shutout that they pitched last week. A huge part of that, this pass rush. They know how to get after people.
Offensively, good luck finding some answers right now.
Not what I ordered, but it would have been too much of a hassle.
Gotta imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on 2nd down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18. Back to throw. Jones. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete. Our game here, a Thanksgiving staple in Dallas dating back to 1966. It was Tex Schramm, the Cowboys GM, who wanted to drum up a little publicity. And he drew 80,000 to the Cotton Bowl to see the Cowboys beat the Browns that year in '66. And a tradition was born and has only grown. And he can't find anywhere to go with it. And it goes down.
Good deed, fellas. Good deed.
Loss of 11. They'll make that a 2nd sack here on their first drive out defensively. And we'll have to get ahead of ourselves, but they're on pace for double-digit sacks at this point.
But they're going to have to find a way to tamp that down, aren't they? So if you're the play caller, you're telling your quarterback maybe some screens, maybe some draws, hard count, use your voice inflection a little bit, anything to try and slow that pressure down.
Just a 25-yard punt, not what he was hoping for by any stretch. And the Cowboys will take over the football with a 1st and 10.
And it worked, which was really surprising. I never had to put the Josh fan out for the entire row, and I didn't really put in an intake fan until near the end of my row, which doubled as a fan swap. So overall, my costs were $131 to build the most basic functional build possible. Note that if you have to order everything online, the mechanical timer and the USB fans are going to come back.
So Prescott and the Cowboys now with a 1st and 10 at their own 21. They start on the ground with Elliott.
Good tackle.
Down at the 26, following a gain of 6. Well, this defense for the Giants, they were terrific a week ago in that win over Detroit.
And how'd you like to be the quarterback reviewing the game tape from last week and seeing this defense on the spot on almost every snap? If the ball was in the air, they took it away. If the ball was pop free, they picked it up. 5 takeaways in last week's game.
If I bought the seeds and the grow supplies for just one plant, it would have been a little bit more expensive. Note that this is as basic as it gets, and doesn't include a couple of options that some people will need. This setup doesn't include an air carbon filter, which would completely eliminate the smell. However, this would require...
The last run got 6, now 2nd and 4. They go to Elliott again. And not a whole lot there, maybe a yard to the 27. But Charles, this Thanksgiving tradition is so great. I mean, going back essentially to
Move these sticks, fellas. We can blaze up.
I know you probably have a lot of fond memories of Thanksgiving Day football yourself.
I certainly do, and I don't have the Turkey Bowl tradition. You know, the families that go out and play and then come in and sit down to their feast and watch football. I remember reading about
Okay, then.
Lions jumping over
Man of my word, fellas. We gonna blaze up.
1962, they sacked Art Starr over 10 kickoff or a touchdown to win a game on Thanksgiving Day. I remember so many different things happening, but how much fun is it each and every year to know that you've got football on Thanksgiving Day?
Now, because of the height of the growth, I didn't feel like it was necessary to install the weight and then plug it into the mechanical timer and adjusted the timer for 18 hours.
A first down carry by Elliott. 48-yard line.
And then this time.
All right, so they got that one, Charles, against the center.
And let's remember how difficult it is for the center, because remember, he's got to snap the ball to put the play in motion, and sometimes you got that big guy on your nose, you got sometimes where he's coming at you at an angle. It's a difficult job for him to snap the ball and then execute his block.
Less than a minute to go here in a scoreless first quarter to this point. After the penalty, it's Elliott. And unable to get downhill there as he'll take this up to about the 37. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it'll be second down. The Cowboys, it's 7-3 now on the year. And they coming on a pretty good roll here. Winners of 3 straight.
And I thought that they played pretty well last week. Their execution, their discipline, their resilience, all on display in that victory.
Now on 2nd and 16, Prescott. And he is caught by Lamb.
Good shit, good shit.
First down as the tackle's made at the Giants' 36. No score after one on EA Sports.
For the play pot, I went with 2/3 potting soil and 1/3 perlite and placed the plant inside. I made another mistake here because the bag of soil I used was open and sitting outside for about a week, which apparently led to gnats laying their eggs on the soil and caused a lot of damage.
So the drive takes them into Giants territory now, 1st and 10 at the 36. From the pistol, here's Elliott.
Ooh, goddamn.
Nice aggressive run there before being brought down just inside of the 30. A good run there on first down, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 2.
You know what really fires up offensive linemen? When the guy that is carrying the ball behind them can create his own space and break a tackle along the way.
But that wasn't working. So after doing a little bit of research, people recommended adding
8 yards the gain on that last run. Here's 2nd and a couple.
Now, after all the mistakes, starting out with finally on
Hey, my man.
the light schedule was up here.
They run it for the first time with Tony Pollard. That one a first down pickup of 8.
He's running relentless a lot with guys who are aggressive on the field. In this case, it really fits, doesn't it? How about his ability to break tackles and his feet never stop moving?
I would include growing pins, and although the pins were in the grow tent for a while, they were completely gone after about a month. I had a small grow pin that I used over the cable throughout the tent, but it was really weak. So once the tent was large enough to traditional running distance, I used the more conventional grow pin.
First down, and it's Pollard again. And he'll be taken down at the 20 after a game
Good D.
of just 1.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
To grow stronger to resist it, which makes for a stronger plant in general. Also note that since this was my first indoor grow, I didn't want to try and do as many grow techniques to maximize size or yield.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9.
And let's face it, considering how much I have already used up, just having the pass
Here's Prescott.
would be a good
Good deep.
He's sacked back around the 28. Kayvon Thibodeau, he beat the O-line and recorded the sack.
Well, competition comes up in so many different ways. And right now, this unit, Their competition is who's going to get to the quarterback the most times. How about 5 sacks last week? We just saw their
Good
first one in
D.
this game.
Fucked us up with that.
The soils with built-in synthetic fertilizers.
It's my fault, fellas.
They'll need a big play here. Will Dak and the Cowboys after the sack. It's 3rd and long.
If you want or have to use a soil that has built-in synthetic fertilizers, because they're the most.
Now Prescott. Letting one go deep for the end zone.
Ah, good D.
This is going to be intercepted. And the Giantsons are going to take over at their own 28-yard line. Well, they tried to take the deep
All
shot
that for
there, but
nothing.
this defense up to the task.
And a lot of times when you air a ball out like this, if it does get intercepted, there's going to be a lot of space out there to set up a return. And remember, you've got 5 big offensive linemen out there playing on their feet in open space. Not a skill most of them possess that allows for extra yardage on the return.
The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. Jones now on 1st down.
Ah, you got to knock that loose, baby.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 1st down yardage on the first play of the drive, give him 14.
But one of the ways the quarterbacks keep all the receivers alive in a play, never lock in on any one guy. Make sure you keep your eyes moving, scan the field. And here he finds the open guy for a nice pickup.
A 1st down carry for Barkley. And this one not going anywhere. They get him at the 44 for a gain of just a yard. You know, thinking of this Thanksgiving Day game, Charles, for years we've heard the talk, why don't we open up these Thanksgiving Day games instead of just being Detroit and Dallas every year, give other teams a shot to host? I know you're kind of like me, a bit of a traditionalist, but what do you have to say to that, CD?
I think it's a great argument, and the league could support it quite well, where you could move games to different spots and still be very successful on Thanksgiving Day. But you're exactly right. I am a traditionalist. I really don't want Detroit and Dallas to give up those slots. I like the fact that we watch them each and every year. But what I really like is that the league added a 3rd game in 2006. And usually it's division rivals. But that's the 3rd one of the day, and it caps off a great day of football.
What the fuck? Ah, Playboy. That was a gift.
As a coaching staff, you can call just about whatever you want because you understand you have guys who reliably take away those massive shots downfield. You're not as worried about giving up the big one.
After an incomplete pass on 2nd down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. Looking to throw. Jones. Incomplete.
And what I see so far out of this defense is some of the best coverages ever. So far, only one conversion on a handful of attempts. One area of their game plan that they've executed to perfection.
And here's Gillen on now to punt as he gets this one away. This is taken at the 15. And at 55 left to go in the first half of play.
Which was about 50% of the So now that I've moved the camera higher, the plant has stopped stretching and now completely.
The Dallas offense here set to begin the drive. As the offense comes out here, Charles, remember they threw the interception last time out, but they were moving the football down the field. Looked like they were going to have a sustained drive that ended in points, but then the pick ensued.
And because of that, there's no way you can call the last drive a success. Yes, there are things to build on because they found some play calls that work. Now, they've got to build another drive and find a way to avoid the turnover the play did on the last one.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7.
Yeah, as you can see here, I've included photos and videos of the main stop to show what happens during the stop.
Again, it's Elliott. Power on the move that time, but still tackled shy of the 20. 2 yards on the carry there, and it's going to lead them to 3rd down. The Giants going to go ahead and use the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next.
When this starts to happen, it's time to harvest.
And 5 in the secondary now for the Giants on 3rd down.
as you can see here, the Titans
looking to throw. Prescott.
still
Throw left side complete. That's Schultz. And he's going to
Good
get
shit,
this one
good
across
shit.
the 30-yard line. Prescott to Schultz there for the Cowboy first.
When you get a big tight end like this, sometimes it takes more than one man to bring him down. Oftentimes, your best bet, just jump on and hold on and wait for your teammates to arrive to help get him on the ground.
Prescott's throw there, caught by Gallup. On the move past the 40. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40.
I'll take it.
Too much extracurricular there.
When you have a game with a lot of contact, tensions are going to run pretty high. You're going to be emotional, but you have to harness it somehow, and he didn't on that play.
now we can see that almost all the Titans are
After the penalty, a fresh set of downs. It's 1st and 10.
so it's time to hurry.
Prescott to throw it. That's going to be caught. And he'll take it.
We needed that, fellas. Good shit. Good shit.
Touchdown. Michael Gallup, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Cowboys will take the lead here in the final minute of the 1st half. Extra point by Martin, and good. And that makes the score 7-0. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. A short kick taken at the 18. And they'll get him down inside the 30 to 27.
For me, I removed the major families without any typos on them, and then everything else I saved in paper bags. I trimmed the bags lightly, so nothing was taken out of them, and then I stopped there. Now for Brian, since I kind of lost.
The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. With this slim deficit closing in on the end of the 1st half, we'll see if they can move this at least into field goal range and try to get 3 out of this drive.
Good shit.
This is intercepted. My goodness. Picked off by Jordan Lewis. And a huge return as he'll take this one all the way down inside the 30-yard line. An unfortunate sequence there, trying to get points before intermission, but now the interception, and their opponents have a chance to possibly pad their lead.
Yeah, they had an opportunity there, and they weren't able to capitalize on it. That's something that could come back and haunt them later. They're begging their defense now to keep them from scoring before the half ends.
Following the interception, here's Prescott. Complete to Washington. And he's going to be brought down at about the 16. The Cowboys going to use their 2nd timeout now, as they'll stop it with 17 seconds to go in this 1st half of action. So the ball down to the 16 here for 1st and 10. Here's Prescott. Complete as the clock will stop with 14 seconds remaining.
I think he's got to be careful not to force anything into coverage right there. There weren't really any throwing lanes, but the best part for him, he's got 2nd and 3rd down to fall back on.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. To throw is Prescott.
Damn!
Rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. And the Giants are going to have
Good D.
at their own 32-yard line.
And as we've seen, points have been precious so far. They just threw some away on that snap. And look, let's face it, we advanced
Definitely threw some points away. My bad, fellas.
Everyone who's watching it,
We're gonna calm our asses down from here on out.
When those points were given away, cost them a ball game.
The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. And only 6 seconds on the clock, so time likely for just one play. And some room to run now. And with just 1 second remaining in the first half, they'll call the timeout.
I don't add any additional food to the medium. I just plant the seed in water. So for this run, the pH range I'm going to stay.
So with 1 second left in the half, on is the field goal unit. And folks, this is a 67-yard attempt. And now the half not quite over yet. This is a live football on the miss. He's past the 30. He's finally going to be taken down. Boy, that could have been a really late swing here, but the attempt to return the field goal is snuffed out. And that'll do it for this first half. Welcome back. Charles and I settled into the booth, ready for quarter number 3. The Cowboys will get the football first here, and they have the lead as well as we are underway in quarter 3. This one will come out to the 25 as Pollard is going to elect not to return it. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. And despite the turnovers, Charles, and they had multiple in that first half, they still have the lead as they begin this third quarter.
And they probably heard some conflicting tones at the half, don't you think? A lot of praise for what they did to get this lead, but also a little bit of scolding because they got to take better care of the football in the second half. But you and I both know the great leaders, they know how to give that little bit of vinegar in there and cover it with a big dose of honey.
Brought down on the play by Kayvon Thibodeau. These two teams, you might recall, met up back in September in week 3. And it was the Cowboys winning on the road, so they look for the sweep here back home in Arlington. Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. Now Prescott. He finds his target. It's Schultz.
Good hustle, good hustle.
9 here up to the 34.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on 2nd down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives them a much better opportunity to convert on 3rd down.
Heavy set out there on 3rd and 1. They'll try and run for it with Elliott. And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
And they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
They keep on the ground with Elliott.
Good shit.
Stop it right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. Off play action to Elliott. Here's Prescott. He'll get this out wide here to Elliott. And he'll be out of bounds up near the 45 at the 44. So the completion good for 7 there. And it makes it 3rd down and 2 yards to go.
Caught that look from you there, partner. I think we're on the same page on that one. Just his first catch. I think we both thought he'd be a little more active in the passing game. Let's see if that's the start of them trying to get the ball to him a little bit more here in the second half.
Prescott on 3rd and 2. Open man Lamb. It's complete.
Good catch, baby.
Have another first down as the tackle's made at the Giants' 32-yard line. Well, they were in search of a short gain on 3rd down, and they wind up nabbing over 20 yards.
It's taken a while for this offense to get going. A little creaky at the start, but they're oiled up now. drive.
So the drive takes him into Giants territory now. 1st and 10 at the 32-yard line. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
I'd say they've got to find a way to get him going. He's such a big part of their offense. I wonder if they might throw it a little and come back to the run.
Anything, because you're right. He's pretty much been completely neutralized. The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8.
I'm also adding in 5 tablespoons for health, which is going to provide the potassium and other beneficial nutrients.
The give to Elliott running left.
Bam, it's coming back.
So not a lineman, but the tight end instead this time, drawing the holding call.
And more what you're getting with tight ends are guys who are much more receiver than blocker. They may be willing, but that might not be their thing. Oftentimes, they'll be the ones getting the penalties.
Temporarily out of field goal range now as they come up on a 2nd and long after the holding call.
It's been 24 hours and this combo
Prescott now.
Ooh, what the fuck? Let that ball go, playboy. What you doing?
Multiple defenders getting home there for a loss of 11.
We are seeing 2 really confident defenses imposing their will on these offenses in this game.
Yeah, absolutely, going toe for toe. Just curious if one of these offenses can wake up a little bit.
Is there any way they can find something that can pop?
The
something
fuck
big
was
to
that?
knock them back on their heels?
But this time, from the bottom strike. This allows me to spread the taller sides out. And if I attach...
They'll need a big play here. Will Dak and the Cowboys after the sack. It's 3rd and long. They just get the play off. Now Prescott.
Good D.
That is incomplete.
As a defensive back, you have some weapons at your disposal that we don't often talk about. And you can read the receiver's eyes, you can read his hands, and you know that the arrival of the ball is imminent. And that allows you to make a play on it, and oftentimes knock it away.
We gotta quit shooting ourselves in the foot, fellas.
35 yards that time on the punt. And it'll be Giant football, 1st and 10.
If a punch is shown how big, the long firing knowledge and that. This size of the knowledge comes with a lot more work. And the candy maintenance department. Today,
The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. And really, Charles, not much of a surprise that they're losing. They just haven't been able to get much of anything going in the pass game. And as you well know, in today's NFL, if the passing game isn't working, usually not much else is working either.
Exactly right about that, partner. And I know that right now the easy answer would be, hey, let's run the football. But that might not be everything you need. So despite the fact that they've struggled throwing it, you've got to find some type of a play.
Good shit.
That puts the ball in the air and allows for them to have some success.
That's now consecutive 5-yard carries to pick up the 1st down.
That's a nice run right there, able to get to the outside. And so many times defenses say, okay, we've got you hemmed in. But if you're running the football, at least you know where everyone is coming from. You don't have to worry about the backside at all. That allows you to run with a little bit more confidence as you traverse down the field.
They'll run it again to Barkley. And he is going to lose yardage here. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11. We're on to the 4th here on Thanksgiving Day. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports.
experimenting with the measurements and everything. So next team will have to make adjustments.
Looking at a 2nd and 11 now after the loss.
Anyone who is wondering, I'm using a blue line, trench line, neutral, view. Or we have to incorrect. It's one of the more reliable ones.
Jones with a handoff to Barkley. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. This offense on 3rd down today, just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 11. On 3rd down, Barkley.
Oh, good motherfucking defense, fellas. Get up, get up.
Cowboys, and they'll set up shop in enemy territory at the 45-yard line. He has been a workhorse for them in this game, and ball security hasn't been an issue until that point.
Yeah, and let's face it, when he's going to carry the ball that many times, he becomes more and more of a target for the defense. Knowing he's going to be the primary guy, they'll just send more and more players towards him, trying to make sure they knock the ball free.
They'll try the right side with Elliott. And this one goes nowhere.
He's so fucking up, though.
Back at the 46. Good play to get him behind the line there by Blake
Martinez.
I think it's pretty evident. We can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. On 2nd down, Elliott once more. And a 5-yard gain gets him to the 42.
All right, that's a decent game there, but it hasn't been his best game overall. So I wonder what the mindset is of his team. Do they want him to handle the football and try and close this game out? Or are they going to make an alternative plan and maybe go in a different direction?
I think they need him, and this is his time to shine. And they'll need to get to the 35 if they want to keep this drive going on 3rd down. Prescott.
Ah, good shit.
That's one he definitely normally catches. 4th down. And he's certainly not a guy that drops that football very often.
Indeed, because that's a bit of a surprise. I know he's in the middle of some traffic and people, bodies all around him, but he usually has the focus to haul that one in.
So the field goal unit is on the field, as this is a big spot right here. This to make it a 2-score game.
Fuck. Damn, we blew that. Play some D, fellas.
No good, and this will remain a 1-touchdown game. And that one hurts a bit. That was a golden opportunity to possibly put this one on ice, but he comes up empty.
And how big of a miss might that turn out to be? Stay tuned. There's still time left on the clock. This could be critical.
Still a 1-score game. Had he hit that, it would have been 2 scores. They begin with a run by Barkley. And he's got this one across midfield into Cowboy territory. Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. Again, it's Barkley.
All right, come on now.
Open space, and he's got this all the way down now to the 32. Up the middle with Barkley.
What is y'all doing, bro?
Right around the 23-yard line. Still a few inches short of a 1st down as they come up now on 2nd down. Barkley inside handoff. And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19. The drive continues as they search for a tying touchdown. Here's 1st and 10. And now whistles here and a flag down. Looked like someone
looking out
a little early.
The final weight is 62 grams, which is just over 2 ounces.
The false start backs him up 5. 1st and 15. Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw.
Good looking out, my nigga.
And the Cowboys are going to take over here at their own 22-yard line.
Brandon, offensively, this has been a tough day for him. Trying to find a place to throw the football. It's been extremely difficult. I've got to give a lot of credit to the secondary, especially the corners who've had the receivers on lockdown.
So Prescott to the Cowboys now with a 1st and 10 at their own 22. They'll run with Pollard to begin the drive. And he sneaks his way forward only for a couple here. 2nd down. Got to figure now, after getting that turnover, they're just going to be happy to keep the ball on the ground, right?
This is where covering the football, taking care of the ball, all the ball security terms that have ever been used, they come into play for the guys on offense right now. Just take care of it, and they've got a good chance of ending up winning this game.
With the big heads up, it's completely free. You know?
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Throwing. Prescott. He finds his man complete. It's Schultz. And he'll get this up to the 34-yard line.
You got to blaze up for that.
They're good enough for a Cowboy first down. This is something you got to be wary of defensively. Just because they're in the mode of trying to burn some clock doesn't mean they won't pass it. They got good yardage out of that one.
Yeah, and really, when you're looking at it, now they've got a fresh set of downs. Look for 2nd down. If they want to take another shot and try and loosen things up, that'd be the time to do it.
Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. They'll try and run some clock now with Elliott. And he'll do a nice job here just to fight his way back to the line of scrimmage. Whistles and a timeout at the 2:05 mark. So this defense wanting to get one more pause in before the 2-minute warning, and they do just that.
Man, goddamn, turn them kids down, cuz.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. They go to Elliott again. And some space here. And he will finally be taken
Good
down
run,
at
we
the
needed
Giants'
that.
28. We've got a one-score game with inside of 2 minutes remaining. So now then, the big play has him all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. Inside give to Elliott. And they've got it in the red zone now, down at about the 19. 74 yards on the ground for him so far.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I can just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the 4th quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down 4th quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently. On 2nd down, it's Pollard.
Good D.
He's met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. The Giants going to burn their 3rd and final timeout as they'll get it with just over 90 seconds to go in the ball game.
I think sometimes when you're trying to get after the quarterback, maybe it's better to be lucky than great, because I think on that one, he's just trying to get upfield and rush the passer. Instead, the tackle for the loss landed right in his lap.
They go back to Elliott. He's been busy. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. The defense stiffens to force 4th down following that first down gain of 8.
The short field shrinks even more with the type of bodies they brought in on that play. Those extra tight ends, they weren't able to secure their blocks, and that one ended up going backwards.
Good game, cuz.
So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. This to perhaps salt this one away. The kick by Maher is good, and that will extend their lead even further. Well, some field goals are bigger than others, and that one makes this a 2-score game.
And with the way their defense has played all game long, that's kind of a love letter to them, because that might very well be all the points they need.
Takes it at the 7. And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. They might be thinking this is close to a lost cause here. Got to play it out. What do they need to do?
Well, they have a thought process in mind already, but they can't get ahead of themselves. They know that they need to score quickly.
Yep, 2-score game. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked up by Leighton Vander Esch. And a super return as he gets us all the way down inside the 25-yard line. How about one last great play defensively, and that should, for all intents and purposes, finish off this shutout.
That's as good a defensive performance as we've seen in a long, long time. And I know as a team they will celebrate, but I will guarantee you the defensive guys, they'll get together somewhere and have their own private celebration. A shutout, that's something to be cherished.
Now Prescott. And this is intercepted, but they'll say out of bounds. So very close to a turnover there in the end zone. Well, interceptions have been a problem in this one. If he could have gotten his feet down here, would have been another.
Would have been a huge one. They've had a great game taking the ball away. Thought they had another one, just unable to get those cleats in bounds.
Prescott. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
They have to like what they've done defensively here at the outset of this drive. They forced a couple of incomplete passes, bring up a 3rd and 10. Don't be surprised to bring a little pressure on this snap.
The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is 3rd and long. And they're going to get him down well short of the first, as he can only get this to about the 19. It'll be a gain of 4, but it won't be enough. It leaves him with a 4th down now. And this one is right through. And that will extend their lead even further. So they settle for just the 3, but clearly right now anything counts trying to suck this one way in the 4th.
Without a doubt, obviously a touchdown probably would have been the final nail to finish this thing off. But it's still ate up time, got points. So while it's not mission accomplished, it's darn close.
Takes it at the 7.
Good game, Cuz. Well, we pulled it off. It was an ugly one. But we got it.
We didn't play well enough to keep it close enough. With that one possession down the stretch, might have given us an opportunity to win the game.
So for Dallas, they keep pace in the playoff race as they move to 8-3 on the year. Now they'll have a few extra days here before they face Indianapolis next week. Meanwhile, for the Giants, it's a loss that sets them back in their playoff push as they fall to 6-5. And they will be back home next week for a date with the Washington Commanders.
No highlights on that one.
We kept it at the proper temperature and humidity when we were drying, and that basically is what we're going to continue to do for the next month or so. So let's take a look at the stuff that we harvested and dried, the grilled blue photo period. Okay guys, so what we see here is a couple of different ways to cure. Now there is a few different ways that I'm not going to show you that you can look up online. There's water curing, where you immerse your bud into water and you cure over a matter of days or weeks. I've never tried that. Some people have great success with it, but that also tends to take out your terpenes. It doesn't have much smell or taste afterwards. So that's not what we're looking for in this video. What we're looking for is a nice potent hit with some beautiful flavor and some really nice smell. So, and this is the way majority of people do it. So what we have here is a lot of people use jars. Now this is just a regular 1 liter mason jar. But what I like to do is use a bucket. Yes, this bucket has been used for a while, so it doesn't look the greatest on the outside, but I assure you the inside is clean. So let's look at this. Let's open this up. Now, one thing to remember is whatever you cure in, you want it to be airtight. So when you have your jars, you want to make sure the cover is on tight. We do not want oxygen getting in there for the most part. The same as this bucket, it has a rubber seal around it, so it is airtight. Now, this here is the Gorilla Glue that we cut down last week. So what we did after the drying video, I just took it down and I cut the buds off the stems and placed them into this bucket. Now, this is bulk curing. I can do this. I could do this in the mason jars. But what I like to do is I like to keep all my stuff in one place, each particular strain. So what I do is I put them in a bucket. Make sure it's a food grade bucket so you know it's not going to be leaching anything into your buds. So it's been in here for a week. Looks phenomenal. Obviously hasn't been trimmed yet. But let's take a look at this humidity meter here. So it is around between 59 and 62. So now that the only reason there's a little bit of a difference is because when I take the cover off, the humidity will automatically want to drop because it's dry in this room. So the temperature is 19 to 22 degrees Celsius. So that's a pretty good spot for it. Anywhere around 20 degrees, if not even a little lower, is fine. You do not want it too warm because that can affect your terpenes also. They will tend to evaporate. So another thing that we want to remember is to keep it in the dark. Light will cause the THC to break down, and we do not want that. So basically, this is a very simple process. You either put it in your jar or your bucket or whatever you have. Some people use oven bags. You can use plastic bags, but be careful with plastic bags because a lot of them are not airtight. Even though it might feel like it, they still can oxygen can still pass through a lot of these thin plastic bags. So I like to go as cheap as possible when it comes to growing and pretty much anything to do with cannabis. I like to keep the dollar amount as low as possible. But this is one thing that I will suggest, to take that extra money and put it into getting some Boveda packs. Now, I like to use the 62% Boveda packs. They come in a few different sizes. There's this size. I also have some of these size, which are great for mason jars. These are the 8-gram ones, and these are the 67-gram ones. Now, what are these? These are a two-way humidity control. Now, some people do not like to use these right from the start. I do. I find no ill effects of them. I think they're great. As soon as I cut my buds off and I put them into this bucket or into jars or into bags or what have you, I always add Boveda packs because I want that to stay at 62. Now what happens is if your bud is still just a little bit wet, it's say it's 65 to 70, but what happens is, being a two-way humidity pack, it'll take that extra moisture and absorb it into the pack to drop down the content down to 62. Or as close as it can to 62. I mean, there are limits to this thing. It's not magic, but as long as you're pretty close to it, it will absorb that extra moisture into the pack itself. And you can see it's kind of gel, filled with like a gel substance. So now what happens if your bud is just a little bit too dry, or really dry as far as that goes? If you really messed up and you dry some bud out and it's crispy and it's crunchy, well, again, there is a certain point to that too. If you dry it too far, it's really hard to bring back that the terpene profile. You may have that grassy smell, the green earthy smell. Well, if it's not too bad, then this will help to bring the smell back, to get rid of that green smell and bring back your cannabis smell. So now if it is too dry, a little bit, and you throw one of these in with it, it'll take the moisture from the pack and put it into the surrounding area, which is another reason why you want an airtight container. Now this I find is great for a 5-gallon bucket. If that was full, I would like to use 2 of the big packs. I have a few of these small packs in here at the same time as the big pack, just because I'm using my other big packs in other places. So now the Boveda packs, they're a little bit pricey. Can't remember exactly the price. I will put a link in the description for them if I don't have one already. But they are well worth the money. You put all this time into growing this bud. You did a really good job. You got a really nice harvest. Even if you have a small harvest and it's really not that good, this can only help. Now, if you do not have both,
That was a good game for us. Let's see if we got another league game. Check
what
back
you
with
can
me.
do is basically what we're doing right here, right now.